lechon, itlog, and isa pang plate of avocado. So, lahat ito ay matataba, makolesterol. Marami ang natatakot sa taba, pero alam nyo ba na hindi kailangan katakutan ang pagkain ng taba? Papaano ito? I-explain ko yan sa inyo in this video. Good morning everybody! At alam nyo ba na hindi ko alam na ito yung pagkain today? I just woke up from a long sleep kasi medyo hindi maganda yung pakiramdam natin from all the weeks na walang tulog and a lot of traveling and a lot of work, and ngayon is recovery day. So, eto yung pagkain na hinanda ng kaibigan ko and hindi ako natatakot kumain ng taba. And also, sa mga naka-low carb, alam nyo na ang pagkain ng taba ay hindi nakakataba. Paano ito? It is because yung taba ay hindi talagang diretsang nagiging taba sa katawan. Kapag ikaw ay naka-low carb, kapag kumakain ka ng taba na walang kasamang mga pagkain na nakakapagpataas ng insulin, ito ay magagamit natin as energy. Ito ay mas nagagamit natin for other functions in our body like cellular repair, paggawa ng mga hormones, paggawa ng immune complexes. That is also the reason why for the last 4 years, halos hindi kami nagkasakit. And sa buong pamilya namin, walang kahit nino man na naging COVID positive. Kahit pa yung palibot namin sa aming office work, in the household of our other family members, kaming mga naka-strict, clean, low-carb eating, ay never nagkaroon ng positive COVID test results. And although we already have ourselves vaccinated after, ang vaccination ay wala ring epekto sa amin. Hindi kami nanghina, hindi kami nagkasakit, at hindi kami nagkaroon ng flu symptoms. The reason why I'm feeling not so good last night is because wala akong tulog for the last 2 weeks. Maybe sa 2 weeks na yan, mga nasa 1 to 2 hours lang yung tulog ko every night, and it's because of so many other things. First, mga negative things, but eventually it became good things. And that good news, I will, of course, share with you the moment na ready na ang lahat. For now, we will talk first about taba. Ano ba yung taba sa katawan na kinakatakutan natin? Yung taba sa katawan na kinakatakutan natin are actually the fats na pwedeng mag-result into inflammation at pwedeng magkaroon ng pagbara sa ating puso. However, hindi yan diretsang nanggaling sa mga kinakain nating taba. Ito ay combination of fat build-up with inflammation and injury sa loob ng ating katawan. And injury and inflammation is not directly caused by fats. But based on research, it is based on too much inflammatory markers and also oxidative stress. Ang mga terms na yan na medyo scientific, it's just the terms used na nakikita sa loob ng katawan but actually produced if we are to convert it sa ating everyday na mga gawi, sa ating everyday na mga pagkain. It's simply the foods that we eat that are very high in carbohydrates, high in glucose impact, yung nakakabigay ng pagtaas ng ating blood sugar. So, pangalan pa lang, sugar, sweets, lahat ng mga matatamis. Galing from regular sugar, cocoa sugar, honey, muscovado, at kahit ano pang sugar na kahit pa ito ay natural, but if it's gonna cause increase in blood glucose, then it is still sugar na kailangan natin i-avoid. Another form of sugar na hindi diretsong nakakakos ng pagtaas ng ating blood sugar pero may impact when it comes to inflammation would be fructose. So that is the reason why yung cocoa sugar at yung honey is sinasabing low glycemic index. That is true. Mababa yung kanilang glycemic index. Hindi sila na diretsang nakakapagpataas ng blood sugar because ang kalahati nito ay glucose pero ang kalahati nito ang fructose. Fructose is isang klase ng sugar din, ng matamis din, na kaya ding iproseso ng ating katawan. In fact, ang glucose, kapag sobra yung na-consume natin, yung sa atay natin, i-convert nito yung glucose into fructose. At kapag yung fructose na ito ay hindi rin nagamit for energy because we are eating often, hindi tayo nagpa-fasting, yung iniisip natin every 2 hours kakain tayo, yung fructose na ito actually, it will be converted again into storage form. Kasi nga, we are not capable of storing glucose and carbohydrates in general in large form. So, ang gagawin ng ating katawan to save space in our body, i-convert niya ito into a nutrient dense, yung masiksik na klase ng energy, and that is fats. And fructose will now be converted into triglycerides. Bakit siksik? Kasi 1 gram of carbohydrates, nasa 4 kilocalories lang yan energy. But 1 gram of fats is equal to 9 kilocalories of energy. That's why yung preferred state ng storage form ng ating katawan is taba. So yung taba, yung equivalent niya parang ginto. Maliit lang pero mataas na yung value. But hindi natin alam yan. Akala natin just because we are eating a lot of fats, we get fats. And yes, marami nga sa atin ang tumataba kapag kumakain ng taba, pero they are not isolated. Hindi mo kinakain yung taba ng siya lang o kasama ay protina lamang. Ang masamang pagkain ng taba is when you eat it together with carbohydrates. Bakit ito considered as deadly combination? This is considered as deadly combination because yung taba na kakainin mo, tapos, kakain ka pa ng carbohydrate. Kapag kumain ka ng carbohydrate, tataas si insulin. Insulin will directly tell the fats that you ate na hindi na ito gagamitin, ito ay iimbakin na natin. So, yun yung nagkukos ng build-up. That's why, delikado yan. Pero kapag mataas yung intake ng taba, pero walang intake ng carbohydrate, so mababa yung insulin. Kapag mababa yung insulin sa katawan, the natural pathway na dadaanan ng taba is for metabolism, for breakdown, for utility, for energy spending. So, gagamitin siya ng ating katawan for energy. Kaya hindi siya magkakaroon ng fat build-up. And for those naman, I'm sure meron kayong mga kilala na mga nagkakakain ng carbohydrates pero walang taba. That is why hindi rin sila ganon kagaanong tumataba because the carbohydrates that they are eating, kahit sobra-sobra pa ito, it will take a lot of time. Ipaprocess siya ng ipaprocess ng katawan before it can be converted into storage form ng taba. That is why it's not also that deadly, not as compared to eating high carb and high fats. High carb, low fat, deadly din, but not so deadly. Why? Because kahit pa wala yung taba, pero if you are eating too much carbohydrates, also together with proteins, and merong mga incidental unhealthy fats like mga seed oils, yung mga vegetable oil na kasi karamihan ay hindi coconut oil, kundi canola oil, seed oil, sunflower oil, na hindi talaga ganon ka-healthy, then you are putting yourself at risk of cardiovascular disease and many others. Ito yung rason na kung bakit maraming umiiwas sa mga pagkaing matataba and yet they find themselves still not being able to lose the weight that they want to lose. Nandun pa rin, nag-iimbak at nag-iimbak pa din at yung mga fatty liver nila, hindi pa rin cure, yung mga payat na hindi tumataba pero yung triglycerides ay sobrang taas ng value. Kapag chinek mo yung tiyan, malaki yung tiyan, that is visceral fats. A very, very dangerous kind of fats na naiimbak sa ating katawan. But yung kasi nga, tayo ay apektado ng nakikita natin sa TV, nakikita natin sa videos, and kung saan-saan pa, akala natin yung taba lang na delikado is yung taba na nakikita natin. Yung mga voluptuous, yung mga obese, yung mga size XL, 2XL, 3XL. Akala natin sila na yung pinaka-unhealthy. But alam nyo ba na posibleng mas healthy pa siya sa mga payat pero malalaki yung tiyan? That is because they are actually quite lucky na yung kanilang genes ay capable of accommodating fats to be stored na maimbak sa kanilang katawan without much direct na impact sa internal organs. So, ang epekto ng sobrang taba sa kanilang katawan ay nagiging taba lang na nakikita. That is the subcutaneous fats. But of course, hindi ko na sinasabi na yun yung magiging goal natin. Of course not, because kahit pa peripheral fats lang yan. Peripheral, nasa gilid, visceral is nasa loob. So, kahit pa peripheral fats lang yan na hindi ganun kadelikado, eventually, it can still be dangerous because fats, adipose tissue, when already too much and nagkaroon na ito ng insulin resistance, it can become factors that can produce tumors, can produce more inflammatory factors. At yun nga, ang isang tao will be already at risk of developing metabolic syndrome. So, metabolic syndrome, meron ka ng insulin resistance, meron kang dyslipidemia, at meron kang obesity, either central obesity or generalized obesity. So, ako, kakain ngayon ng mga taba. And it's not actually dangerous. The recent guidelines ngayon, inaalis na nila yung cap, yung limit sa amount of cholesterol intake because there is no study showing na there is a cause-effect relationship with dietary cholesterol intake, especially these kinds of healthy natural cholesterols na nakakakos ng heart attack. Pero nakakatuwa nga na because they are bound to say sa guidelines na wala na talaga itong kailangan cap o limit. Kasi wala naman talaga. They already limited the cholesterol intake and increased the cholesterol intake. It doesn't have an effect when it comes to overall cause mortality, when it comes to impact sa heart attacks and cardiovascular disease. So, inalis na nila. Pero yun nga, meron pa rin hang-up sa wrong information of the past. Nilagyan nila na kahit pa walang cap na ngayon, yung cholesterol na limit sa daily dietary intake, it is still parang reasonable to still control it. Yun, it's of course to be safe. So, to be safe, hindi ko rin sasabihin na ito lang yung kakainin nyo everyday because sa akin nga, ngayon lang din ako nakakain ng ganito sila nang sabay-sabay. I think the last time was maybe 2 months ago. And recently, kung ano lang yung nandyan, yun lang yung kakainin ko. But this is just to show you na it can be okay as long as alam mo na hindi mo ito ipagsasabay ng other high-carb foods. And the fats that we take, the fats that we are eating, we are very choosy. Hindi kami kumakain ng kahit anong taba lamang, hindi dahil malinamnam ito, na taba ito, like galing sa margarine, ay kakainin na namin, or any oil, is gagamitin na namin. No, for example, kung meron siyang mga processed na meat, na matataba, like yung mga delata na mga luncheon meats and kung ano-ano pang mga ganyan, hindi rin kami kumakain yan. We are very choosy with the food that we eat and we only eat as much as possible yung pinaka-natural. So, lechon! Good news sa ating mga Pinoy. Lechon is natural. Ito yung lechon na nabili lang sa airport sa Cebu na it doesn't look so good. Medyo disappointed talaga ako. Ang lalaki pa naman ng mga cuts. Pero nung kinain ko, sobrang sarap. Kahit hindi crispy yung skin kasi nga matagal na siya, pinagbiyahe pa siya. But yung laman mismo ay malinamnam. So this is amazing. So lechon, mostly organic naman lahat ng ginagamit, like star anise, yung paminta, yung salt, and many others. This is natural. So these are brown eggs and also just slices of avocado, pampawala ng umay. Akalain mo yon, yung pampawala ng umay namin ay taba pa din. So that's my food for today. And yung taba, again, is not gonna be scary and it's not gonna put you on so much weight. Hindi ito magkakos sa inyo ng weight gain, especially if you are not eating it with carbs. For those na feeling nila hindi sila pumapayat kahit nag-low carb sila na ganito, maybe quantity is the key. Baka sobra-sobra yung kinakain ninyo. Because of course, when you want to lose weight, ibig sabihin meron na kayong mga nakaimbak dyan. Meron na kayong stored na energy and gold in the form of fat sa inyong katawan na kailangan ninyong i-spend time muna para gamitin. So we don't need to eat so much fats. For those that are on maintenance, you will see for yourself that the fats that you eat is just going to be your source of energy. Yun yung mga magbibigay sa inyo ng energy. Hindi kanin, hindi tinapay, hindi pansit, kundi yung mga taba mismo. Since we mentioned a while ago that 1 gram of fats is equal to 9 kilocalories, yung isang cup ng rice, yung energy na ibibigay sa inyo yan, ay katumbas lang ng 2.5 kutsara ng oil o ng taba. So, ganun siya ka-energy dense. So, our fats, the fats that we eat are our primary source of energy. The proteins is for our muscular building and repair and also for gluconeogenesis na creation of blood glucose if ever kailangan na natin for our brain and for our red blood cells. But generally, for those na gustong pumayat, you don't need to eat so much of this. Pwede kayong kumain ito for the next 2 weeks just to make you feel fat adapted, but after that 2 weeks or even less, you will notice na mawawala na kayo ng gana because your body is now going to use up the fats that is in your body. At yon, during the time na yon, yun na yung mga time na hindi na kayo kailangang kumain ng marami. You just need to fast more. And for those naman, sa marami sa inyo na sobrang-sobra ng successful sa kanilang pag-lose ng weight and they are now having troubles gaining weight, isa yung pinaka-importante talaga. It's the protein intake. But when it comes to muscle building, weight gain, we want you to gain the weight coming from the muscles, hindi galing sa taba. Kung gusto nyo lang quick fix, kumain kayo ng kanin ulit, kumain kayo ng carbs ulit, yes, you will look stuffy, you will look like you've regained your youth a little kasi nga mas naging fuller na yung mukha ninyo. But know that that is more on fluids and it will come with inflammation. Mababalik yung sakit ng katawan, yung sakit ng tiyan, yung hindi na naman makatulog, sakit ng ulo. It's because it's the inflammatory kind of fats. But if you want to gain weight the healthy way, you strive for muscle building. And as I recently reconnected with my friend na nag-muscle bulking ngayon, I told, nagkaintindihan kami na totoo nga, it's the protein intake that will really increase your muscle bulk plus physical activity. Pero meron siyang inad. It's the physical activity. So, yan yung muscle breakdown. Mag-weightlifting kayo kung kailangan. And then, protein intake para meron kayong mga materials to rebuild these muscles na nasira at para ito ay lumaki. And lastly, it's recovery. So, rest. Rest is very important kasi kapag wala kayong recovery period or rest period, all of these will just go to waste. So, consider the things na kailangan ninyong gawin for you to prioritize your rest in our life para magkaroon ng optimum na functioning yung ating katawan because our body, regardless of how we do things, kapag alam mo, meron ka sa tamang mindset at kung ano yung inyong gagawin, it will just normalize. It will optimize sa kanyang best state. Hindi mo na kailangan i-label kung payat ka, o taba ka, or normal ka, or perfect ka. Your body will become what it is kung saan kayo pinaka-optimally magpa-function. And I hope you start by considering improving your nutrition, looking at low-carb foods, and also prioritizing fasting for healing, for repair, and for overall wellness. So, yun lang. Kakain ako today. Maraming salamat, everyone. I'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for always being with us, and I pray that you will be at the best of your health and life status in general. Maraming salamat po. Stay low carb, stay safe. Goodbye.